Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to part 3 of my Soul Hunters hero rankings. In this episode, I'm going to be ranking a lot of different heroes. So, if you have a question on which hero you should hold on to, which hero you should upgrade, or which hero you should just leave behind, stick around and check the rest of this video out, and it might help you out. Stay tuned. Welcome back everybody to part 3 of Soul Hunters hero rankings. You've seen the last 2, you loved them. Now this is part 3, you guys asked for it, so here it is. If you have these heroes and you're looking for advice on who you should keep, who you should upgrade, and who you should not waste your time on, this is it. I'm going to show you guys which heroes you should upgrade and not. Alright, now let's go back really quick and just remind you guys what I'm ranking these heroes by. Alright, so if I give them, it's a letter rankings. Alright, if they get an S, it'll be superior. That means this is a great hero. If this hero gets an S, make sure you upgrade him right away. Alright, if they have an A, they're above average, so you definitely should also work on that hero. Alright, but if it's a choice between an S hero and an A hero, go with the S hero. Alright, it's the same thing as you go down the line. Right, if they get a B, it's just right below average. C, you could use them in a bunch of areas in the game, but they're not great, you know. If they get a D, it's for D's nuts because they suck. Alright, and F is for worst F in hero. Don't even bother. I'm not sure if I've given anybody an F yet, because F is pretty bad. I mean, the hero would have to be completely useless, and every hero is useful some type of way. You can make it work somehow, so F is just there for no freaking reason, I guess. I'm only gonna go down to these nuts. Anyways, let's continue. As you guys see behind me, I have every hero. Most of them are fully upgraded, deeply appreciated, and some of them have not gotten around to upgrade them yet because I just haven't had enough resources yet, because you need a lot of resources, guys, to upgrade all these heroes. But let's not waste any more time. I think we should just get right to it with the first hero I'm going to rank today, and that is Mr. Dhoklas. Alright guys, so in my opinion, I think Dhoklas is a nice hero. Alright, he's a really good hero actually. His first skill will hit every enemy of the opponent, and it'll do 50% more damage each hero hits, a random order. Right, his second skill, he releases 2 hedgehogs, alright, which kind of give you 2 extra heroes on the battlefield, and a lot of times they save you because they can soak up a lot of your enemy attacks. A lot of times Alistars, Mortis, just anybody who has single target damage, these guys a lot of times will take the hit. Alright, another thing that this guy has that's really good that people probably undermine is his fourth ability, which reduces your enemy's magic attack. Alright, so don't forget, that is a pretty good hidden ability that he has. I like Dhoklas. I like to use him in the Hall of Legend, the Crusher one, because of his hedgehogs. He can summon the hedgehogs, and they give you more enemies for the Crusher stones to hit. I like using him in the arena too. He comes in very handy. Like I said before, it gives you extra heroes that will take a lot of damage. Now, the thing is, you kind of have to, position him in a good place in the arena. You can't just put him anywhere. So with the right team, he's really good. His ultimate will do a ton of damage. And also, I don't really use Dhoklas as a DPS hero, even though he's labeled as a DPS hero. To me, he's much more of a support. Alright, yeah, he's definitely a complete support hero to me. I don't use him for my DPS. Support in reducing magic damage taken, and support as in applying extra targets on the battlefield. Alright, so there you have it. You can see in this battle here that he takes the hedgehogs take a lot of the hits from Alistar, so that helps out a lot. Alright, overall I'm gonna give Dhoklas an A+. He's above average hero. If you have him, you should upgrade him because he does come in handy in a lot of different places, guys. Alright, so upgrade him. Next up, let's not waste any time. This is Arachnid. Alright, one of the 3 awakened heroes, the first 3 awakened heroes. I went with her first because I think that she's got a lot of potential with her awakening skill. Now, you know that she would have been ranked really bad, you know, before her awakening skill, probably down at the bottom, for sure, probably a D, because she was useless. But with her awakening skill now, I have to definitely give her a way better grade. Now, her abilities are pretty much 3 out of 4 abilities are damage over time. Her last ability, her awakening ability, is gonna give all of those skills almost double attack power. Alright, so it's gonna double their power if the opponent is 50% in damage or lower. So it's kind of tricky there, but if a tank is kind of just hits 50% and it gets attacked by Arachnid, he will pretty much be done. Alright, check out this battle here by Arachnid. Coincidentally, there's 2 Arachnids in this battle, but I tend to use Arachnid when I see the opponent only has one major tank. This way, her damage over time abilities will melt away at the HP very fast, and tanks usually go down to a lot of her magic attacks. Another good thing about Arachnid that a lot of people underestimate is she's got nice HP. You know, she lasts a while in a battle. She doesn't die too fast, so she's a pretty good midline hero that will take up some damage and stay on the field for a while. If you want your back heroes to like if you have Gizmo, you want him to survive a little longer, she's a nice hero to use. All right, now overall for Arachnid, for now, I mean, she has to get an S because she's awakened. All right, but in the future there's going to be more awakened heroes for sure. Everybody's going to be awakened eventually, so I'm going to give her an A, meaning like she's above average right now because she's awakened, but she's not a must-have hero. All right, don't get me wrong, above average, work on her if you have her so you can awaken her, but I'm not gonna put her superior just yet. All right, I want to see how she does with her awakened skill after everybody else has awakening skill. Right, that's Arachnid for you. All right, so next on the list, guys, is this freaky looking guy, the demonic beast. Even though I think his design is awesome, I love the way this guy looks. The problem is he's not that great in the game, surprisingly. I mean, he's a DPS hero, but he doesn't really deal that much damage. He's got some interrupt with his ultimate because he attacks the enemy, you know, goes behind them and attacks them, so it kind of turns them around sometimes, but very frequently, like not too frequently. The only time that I use Namtar is when he's a second tank against magic teams. All right, his magic res is really good. You know, he can stand a lot of magic attacks, but he's weak to physical attacks, vice versa. So that's the problem with him. He's more like a Vincent. I think he's better than Vincent, but not now since Vincent is getting an awakened skill. But Namtar is it's just really hard to use him. Like I said before, you can't really, I haven't found any great place to use this guy. Only as a counter to magic teams and as a second hero, like your second tank. The only good thing that this guy kind of does, I think, is he disrupts some of the front tanks, maybe skills they're about to do because of his little disappearing attack. And that's about it. Most of the time, he's going to get killed by physical teams. If you put him on a defense, on arena on defense, you know, your opponents can easily pick on him. So, all in all, I'm going to give Namtar a B. He's a below average hero. Right now, he's not too great. So, you could definitely, you know, find yourself a better tank out there. So, B for Namtar. Alright, so next up, guys, we have Bloodspear, the tribal commander. This guy is the Apache leader, the Indian commander. And he's actually really good. Believe it or not, this guy is awesome in raids and in the Holo Legend. Because his ultimate attack, Ghosts of the Ancients, will give your team a boost in physical and magic attacks, plus their speed. So they will dish out a ton of damage. All right, his last ability, fourth ability, the curse one, will curse the enemies, which will cause them to take more damage. All right, And also his spear will hit for a ton of damage. Usually, I mean not usually, but a lot of times he hits for, you know, over 10,000 damage at once. So this guy is an all-out DPS hero. He's a support and also DPS, which is a kind of strange thing that he's the only one that does that. He supports your whole team and he attacks for himself. Now check out this one. He's in every team of the raids in our server, alright? So in every team in the raids, he'll be there because of his support. Most of the teams are physical anyways, alright? What I use him a lot is in the raids, but also I like to use him sometimes in the Crucible of Fire, because once I use his ultimate, then when I run the Leia and Gale combo, the enemy will pretty much die really quickly. Battles will end within like 15 seconds because your attack is raised so high that they just can't withstand any of the attacks, right? So overall, I'm gonna give Blood Spear and an A. All right, he gets an A. He's not a superior hero because the only reason for that is because in the arena he could be easily countered. His defense is not that high. But he's so powerful on offense, and he'll help you in the raids, he'll help you in the whole legend, that you should definitely upgrade this guy if you have him, alright? So, A for Bloodspear. Alright, so next up we have the Shapeshifter, Raxius. Raxius is a pretty cool hero, but it's hard to judge Raxius because his defense is so bad. The good thing about him is he's got energy bonus. Alright, so his energy recovers really quickly. He'll ultimate probably twice within a battle if he doesn't die that fast, alright? A lot of times, and he'll take the shape of, any other hero in the battlefield will change the battle completely. The only problem is, it's so random that it could hurt you or help you. Sometimes it gets a terrible ultimate, sometimes it gets a nice ultimate. You just can never know. That's why it's so unpredictable with Raxius in your arena teams. Most people don't run them in arena because of the unpredictability, but you could run them in magic teams that I sometimes do. You could run them in the Crucible of Fire if you need to heal and your Flora is dead or you don't want to use Flora. Raxius a lot of times will use his ultimate to take the shape of the enemy Flora, which will heal your team. Alright, I like to do that sometimes in the Crucible of Fire, and you can also do that as well. Overall, I'm gonna give Raxius a B+. I think right now he's below average because he's just not useful in that many areas, unfortunately. But he is a pretty cool hero to have, alright? So you should slowly work on him, but he shouldn't be a big priority. Alright, so next up we have Enrique. No, not this Enrique. This Enrique. This lullaby singing guy with a cat on his hat. You know, honestly, tell you the truth, I just noticed that this guy has a cat on his hat. The cat in the hat. Wow. Anyways, let's not talk about the cat in the hat anymore. Let's go right into this guy. This guy is a complete support hero, guys. He will not do any attacking. He will not do any damage. He's horrible for raids, alright? So you don't want to use him for any raids. He's not going to become useful. Holo Legend, he's useless. In the arena, he is useful in certain situations, alright? If you have him fully upgraded, you can use him to support, your allies with a couple of different stuff. He'll put the enemy to sleep with his ultimate. He'll speed up some your attacking skills. But the one area that I kind of found a use for him is in the Crucible of Fire. I like to run him with Vincent and Raxius, which we just talked about. The reason for that is once you go into a battle and you have all your energy full, Enrique will put the team to sleep, right? It'll just give enough time for Vincent to cast the curse or his bat trap for the enemy, and then you can use your ultimates from your DPS heroes to attack the hero, turning them into a bat. Once you have one enemy into a bat, the battle is pretty much won because they'll only attack the bat, which will cause Vincent to keep getting more health, and everybody will get energy. So you could, if you don't have the Leia and Gale combo team that I also like to use with Riley, this one I use for a long time at an early level with Vincent and Enrique, and then I use Flora, and if you can substitute in Raxius for a little bit of damage. And also Raxis can shapeshift to flora of an enemy team, alright? So you can run it that way with Enrique. This is the only really place that I found for Enrique. Everything else, just haven't really found much use for him. Like I said before, you could possibly use him in a arena for some support. But other than that, he's not the best. I'm going to give him a B as well because, like I said, if a hero is not useful in many different aspects of the game, you don't want to, you know, go ahead and level him up all the way to orange, fully upgraded, because what's the point? You're not going to use him that much, alright? So I give him a B, below average. You know, if he's next on the list, you can upgrade him, but there's other heroes that you should focus on first, alright? Alright, so next up, we have the alien being, Athira. Athira is actually a really nice hero, guys. I like her a lot. She has a lot of tricks that you can use in a lot of different situations, alright? She's got really nice physical attack. She's a physical attacker, right? And she has really nice bonus health recovery, as you see that, from her lifesteal. So, a lot of times when she uses her ultimate, she will also gain all of her health back. A lot of it, pretty much. The one place that I use... Now, I use Athira in a lot of arena fights too. Not on defense, though, because she could be easily countered with some teams. But mostly on attacking teams, if you're trying to... you know, just stall for a little bit until she can get her ultimate. Once she gets her ultimate, the whole enemy team will be trapped in a bubble. And if you have some DPS in the back, like Slim or Gizmo, their enemy is pretty much done. But the number one place that I do use her in is in the Crucible of Fire. I use her in every single Crucible of Fire run because, like I said before, she has great health recovery. Once she uses an ultimate, she will almost automatically KO a midline hero, Ariel, Seraphine, a lot of times Ember, whoever's in the midline, she will KO him right away, alright? She'll get all of her health back, and it'll also allow your the rest of your party, Gale and Leia and everybody and Riley, to also keep attacking while they're stuck in the bubble, so their life, their HP can raise as well because of their lifesteal. So she's a perfect you know, component to this Crucible of Fire team, and if you have her, this is why I recommend you use her, right? I'm gonna give her an A for above average because she is really good and you should definitely upgrade her, but I don't really, you know, use her in raids much, and like I said, in the arena she's useful in only certain situations. So she's not, I'm not gonna give her superior title, but she is an A+. I'm gonna give her A+ because of the Crucible of Fire, alright? So if you have her upgraded, use her in the Crucible of Fire, you'll love her. Alright guys, so moving on. Next up, we have the Dark Assassin, Alana. Alana is a really cool looking hero and she's got a lot of potential. The only problem is that her potential is not really reached just yet. The reason for that is because her ultimate, Ambush, is an awesome ultimate. It deals a ton of damage. Most of the time it'll KO somebody because it does splash damage. Not only does it hit the enemy, you know, the main target that it's hitting twice, but it'll hit the you know, the heroes around them as well, which is good. If she kills somebody, she'll get her energy shield, will protect her for a while. And also her best feature that I think is her fourth ability, Assassin's Instinct, which will give her a boost to all parties' physical attack. Alright, that is an awesome you know, feature that she has. Gale also has that same feature. A lot of teams that I see that run Alana are using her in, you know, obviously complete physical teams, and she goes great with a Slim and a Gale. When you pair them up together, they do a lot of damage right away. So if your team can't handle physical attacking teams, you'll pretty much be KO'd right away. The only problem with her is it takes her energy, takes a long time to gain. A lot of times she doesn't even get a chance to use her ultimate. So that is one problem with Alana. She does get killed pretty easily now with some heroes who are able to, you know, transfer to the back row, such as you know, like we just talked about Athira, she can do that. Leia will hit her pretty hard. Gale's ultimate will hit her hard. So that's the only problem with Alana, is her energy takes a long time to you know, regenerate. If she could have had a little bit faster energy regen, she would be a really cool hero. But for now, I'm gonna give her an A minus. For that, the reason for that is because the weird thing is she's useful. You can use her in arena, you can use her in raids, and you can use her in Crucible Fire with the right team, but only with one certain team, and that is the all physical team. All right, so she's useful, but only for one team, and you have to have all those heroes to support her. With Slim and Gale, Leia works well too. So you have to have those heroes to support her. If you don't have those heroes, then there's no point in upgrading Alana because she doesn't fit your team. All right, so upgrade her when and only when you have those other physical heroes that you can put her on the team with. All right, so I'm gonna give her an A minus because she's useful in arena, and arena is a pretty big aspect of the game. Now let's move on. Moving on here, we're gonna check out Hanzo, the Unknown Slayer. Hanzo is a pretty cool character. He's got potential, but he doesn't really live up to his potential. He's just a tuning that never made it past the tuning exam, and he's stuck as a Genin. I think that's the right order. He'll never be Hokage. Poor guy. The problem is he's so weak to magic. He is crazy weak to magic. I mean, as soon as you see a Hanzo on an enemy team, you're definitely going all out magic attack and he's dead. The only one good thing about him is his dodge is crazy good. So he is useful in Drago Holo Legend, and I use him a lot. He deals good damage and he does dodge a lot. And he's also useful in some raids. But he's just not that useful in in the arena. And as you saw right there in the Crucible of Fire, he died almost easily, and he's 7 stars, fully upgraded in orange. I mean, he just can't really do any type of tanking. But as a DPS tank, you could use him against an all physical team because he's just gonna dodge almost every hit. They're gonna have a hard time hitting him. All right, so I'm gonna give Hanzo here a B because he's below average hero, and you should definitely work on A's and S's first before you go on to Hanzo. All right, so he gets a B from me. All right, and the last hero that I'm gonna rank today, guys, is Garrick, the bounty hunter. Now Garrick is, I believe, he's Alana's long lost boyfriend, and he's been looking for her for a long time, and he finally found her. They found him, they brought him together, boyfriend and girlfriend, united as one. But the only thing is, Garrick is just so much awesomer than Alana. I mean, this guy is a beast. I love Garrick. I use him all the time in a lot of different situations. You can use him in arena, but I think where he excels the most is the raids for damage and the Holo Legend. This guy is very useful in the Holo Legend, guys. Surprisingly, the weird thing is his ultimate skill will put a kind of a bounty on the enemy. They get 5 different cards on their head. One is health, one is energy, one is physical shield, and one is magic shield. And the hero that kills that enemy with that prize on his head will get it for himself. Alright, so another good thing that he has is he becomes invisible, so he can't be targeted by single target damages like ultimates, like Slim or Alistar or Vincent, or Mortis. So that's another cool ability. But I mean, this guy somehow he deals a ton of damage. When he comes out of his invisibility state, he slashes down the enemy and deals probably like 60 to 70 or 80,000 damage at once. All right, so that's why I like to use him a lot. I don't really use him much in Crucible Fire, but I do run him in arena teams sometimes, and I run him a lot in raids, and I run him a lot in the Holo Legend. All right, so you should definitely work on Garrick if you have him. This guy is a superior hero. I'm going to give him an S because he's very useful. If you want to get top damage and a lot of raids, a lot of Holo Legends, you're going to need a Garrick on your team. Trust me, alright? So work on Garrick. He's now available, I think, in the Epic Arena shop. So you should definitely go work on him right now, alright? So superior for Garrick. Go work on him, guys. Alright guys, so we've come to another conclusion of hero rankings. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you have these heroes, take my advice. Work on the ones that are A, S. Definitely work on S's. Work on A's. B's, you should work on them after you've done S's and A's, alright? C's and D's, don't even bother. Trust me, you don't need them right now, okay? So until the next time I see you guys, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night.